Okay, this is a quick one, you guys. 4 things that I'll implement or that we'll implement in our Facebook ads in 2024. So stay tuned and listen to the next 5 minutes to better be equipped for 2024 and your growth with Facebook ads. So let's hop straight into it. Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, my name is Victor, and I am in charge of the American operations of that apparel brand called iGway. And over the last year, I've learned a lot from spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on Facebook and growing this brand in the US. And from that, we've gathered a lot of learnings, and therefore we are going to change and also, pivot to a certain degree when it comes to our Facebook ads, all right? And I wanted to share with you the 4 main things that we're going to implement in 2024 in order to improve not only our efficiency, but also the rate at which we are scaling our ads, okay? So let's hop right into it. Thing number 1 is streamline our content creative production, all right? We are an apparel brand and we launch 10 to 15 new designs every month, and something that we've been doing a lot just due to the, pure lack of fresh content or pure lack of photo shoots as well as content creator collaborations is we've been running ads or winning ads with designs that we had already sold out for a long time. And, we'd already gathered the feedback that people in the comments were saying like, hey, I'm not finding that shirt anymore. I'm not seeing that shirt anymore. Don't you have that shirt available anymore? Yada, yada, yada. And however, we never really, kind of put so much value or so much weight on those comments, just until we saw that the more we accelerate our content production and the more we actually were running ads with designs that we have new in stock, that we just launched, or, that we have quite literally still available, we saw a huge uptick in terms of click-through rate, but especially conversion rate, right? People are clicking through the ad and seeing, on the website what they were seeing in the ad, right? Which is a super normal thing, but especially given that we had such a turnaround in products and, designs, we didn't think that this was playing so much into the equation, but it did. And therefore, we're going to streamline our content production a lot more when it comes to our ads. Meaning we're going to align our product drops a lot more with, pre-efforts in terms of, okay, what are the content creators we're going to send those new designs to so we can have our UGC ads ready to go and to promote this particular design, as well as to then also accelerate our growth and get a lower cost per acquisition, right? Something that I have not really been focused on too much in my previous years as a marketer and as a Facebook advertiser. I've only been just thinking about, back in the day, media buying, and then more of creative angles whatsoever. But ultimately, what really makes or breaks marketing is still the product, all right? So by you really having a better and streamlined way to promote and, display your product, as well as especially a product that is new, novel, and is not sold out, you will always have a better creative performance and Facebook ads performance. So it's number 1, okay? Streamline your things. Streamline your content production with more to have a better creative performance. Number 2, play more into key events, not only from a consumer, but also on a brand level, all right? Back in the day, 2-3 years ago, I was probably already spending, a couple $100,000 per year on Facebook, maybe 100,000 or 200,000. Let's not try to, over exaggerate here. However, I always thought that there is this magic moment where you have an evergreen campaign and everybody is just working and everything is just working and is optimized. All right. And I thought, okay, as soon as I have that evergreen campaign, I can just add budget on there, 20% every 3 days, and we are already rolling and we're scaling not only our ad spend, but also our profits. All right. However, the more I really deal with businesses and the more I also scale my own business, I see that, the trajectory not only of a business itself, but also of an ad spend doesn't go like that, but it goes like that. All right. So you go ahead and really want to swing with the swings and lay low when it comes to the valleys, because every business, it doesn't matter what business you're in, right? Will have its valleys, right? A Q1 will always be slower than a Q4, and a Dia de los Muertos sale is always bigger for us than summer holiday, So therefore, I want to spend more time really laying out those events, properly preparing for those events, either with a business development strategy, but also really honing in our creative strategy for that, making sure that we have event-specific creatives going live that are mentioning that event, that are supporting this event, and also maybe even, before that event actually happens. Right now, this year, 2023, we had a lot of, ads also for Dia de los Muertos going live, but on Dia de los Muertos itself, right? We want to maybe, introduce already, because people and Mexicans are already getting into the Dia de los Muertos kind of, mood, like already mid to beginning of October, right? So we want to start already really swinging that swing a lot earlier and really honing in or really playing in that thinking of like, we don't want to have an evergreen campaign that only just continuously goes up, because ultimately that doesn't really exist, right? We want to really go ahead and, swing with the swings and really make sure that we accelerate our peaks and get the most of our peaks, so we, can kind of, still, grow sustainably and grow every year. But if you take a look at it on a micro basis, there's never going to be an evergreen campaign that on every day will make you a better cost per acquisition cost than before at a higher scale. Number 3, consolidate even more. Like back in the day, 2018, 2019, nothing was about consolidation. Then I guess in 2021, people really started to, hop on that train that Meta promoted in terms of like, those are my Power 5, right? And really CBO and the original Power 5 was a major component of that, and really consolidating my ad spend so Meta can do, the heavy lifting. I feel like then there was kind of a pushback from that in 2022, but in 2023, it kind of was still a little bit of a pushback, but I felt like the performance was actually coming out of consolidation, right? In 2021, the push was to consolidation because of, iOS 14.5, a lot of uncertainties. 2022, everybody noticed, okay, maybe we still want to not consolidate everything. And, this kind of then kept into 2023. But in 2023, the more I consolidated, the better our performance, right? So usually what I was doing was that we have an evergreen kind of prospecting campaign where we always cycle in new ads, right? So that we pretty much have running at every day throughout the year. Then I would launch, new campaigns that particularly that would scale our ad spend, particularly in days of sale periods, right? Black Friday, Dia de los Muertos, Cinco de Mayo, Mexican Independence Day, all that juicy stuff. And almost never our sale specific campaigns outperformed our ads in the evergreen campaign. Although what I've always done is the best performers of our sales specific campaign, I just cycled them and I duplicated them into our evergreen campaign as well, right? So we had similar ads really, especially when it comes to share of media budget allocated to those ads. We had a similar amount, similar ads running in the same two campaigns, but in the evergreen campaign and the more consolidated campaign that had already been running for like however many months, right? And those ads performed a lot better, right? So I'm kind of thinking and rethinking my approach and how we should deal with that, whether it's better to, really significantly scale vertically every particular campaign and do not be afraid to add 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe even $10,000 in budget per day from one day to the other in one particular campaign, or is it still better to go ahead with the second campaign, right? So because this campaign is immediately going to be in the learning phase and probably not going to be, producing such great results. So do you want to rely more on the campaign that is already consolidated or not? Still something that I'm trying to figure out right now. However, definitely for 2024, I've, set myself the goal that I want to consolidate even more. I want to have even less campaigns. We're spending anywhere between $50,000 to $120,000 a month. And, I want to, consolidate even more that spend into one campaign, 2 campaigns, maximum 3 campaigns. And I think this is the way to go. Number 4 is understand particular channel attribution better and have targets set against channel specific KPIs. So when iOS 14 happened in 2021, everybody, started moving more into holistic marketing metrics like AMER, MER, blended CAC, all of that, share of new customer versus returning customers, like the list goes on, right? Which are still really important business metrics to measure when it comes to evaluating the health of your business, as well as the ability to acquire new customers at a profit, as well as how is your business going to evolve throughout the next months and years. However, now slowly but surely, I've therefore kind of moved my concentration completely away from in-channel metrics, because I thought they were not so reliable anymore, which they are not, but it's still really important to have targets, right? So as long as my MER was good, I was not necessarily looking at my cost per purchase in channel for my Facebook Ads Manager, right? As long as my AMER and new customer acquisition cost was good, right? I was not necessarily thinking or even looking so crazily at different attribution models, right? So I was like, man, we are acquiring new customers at a good rate, profitably. We are ready to scale, ready to rumble, and let's keep going, right? However, one thing, that you then quickly notice as soon as you have this first issue solved of like, okay, we're acquiring customers profitably. Well, we can't, for example, scale past a certain point. This is the moment we scale past $20,000 a day, we're getting unprofitable because the share of our returning customers gets so low, so small that, we can't really outweigh that, and therefore our MER gets unprofitable. All of those little things really led me to that, dilemma situation where I actually need to be able to rely on in-channel metrics, not to understand whether or not we are running a healthy and sustainable and profitable business, because those higher metrics are still more important when it comes to that, but more importantly, to understand where I need to allocate my advertising dollars to get the biggest bang of my buck, right? Before it was more like, okay, I trust that Facebook understands my business and I trust my ability to produce great creative. So therefore, I'm just going to take a look at creative performance or click-through rate and at MER and AMER and kind of just take cost per purchase in channel as a secondary metric, if anything. And this is something where I, in 2024, want to change a little bit my output, or like my horizon, right? Where I want to, have channel-specific KPIs that I spend against, not only, general cost per purchase, but a one-day click ROAS, one-day click CPP, so I understand, okay, if we're hitting those targets, this means that for our business, right? And I have kind of a hierarchy of metrics, right? There's a great video out there from Taylor Holiday from CTC that explains that hierarchy of metrics that is themed a little bit differently, but ultimately, if you understand the hierarchy of metrics, then this becomes a little bit more apparent. Long story short, this is the last thing, understanding particular attribution for my business, as well as setting, attribution tied goals and KPIs for my ad spending targets, right? So what are my one-day ROAS goals? What are my 7-day click ROAS goals? What are my Facebook ads CPCs, cost per purchases? All of that good stuff, I want to set more targets against, because it becomes more important when it comes to understanding where do I get the biggest bang of my buck, and not am I profitable as a business, and is this whole thing even working? Okay, so with that being said, I hope this was, understandable. I hope this wasn't too much. I hope you can take something from that and implement it into your 2024 agenda, if you want to call it like that. With that being said, thanks for watching. I appreciate you spending the last 13 minutes with me, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. All right, see ya.